जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप सब मेरा भी अच्छे होंगे, ठीक ठाक होंगे। हम डेली की बुनियाद पर अपने जो है बात कर टॉक विद चैट जीपीटी के साथ हम डिस्कस करते हैं। तो आज का हमारा जो टॉपिक है इन्फ्लेशन है और उसके ऊपर हम चैट जीपीटी से डिस्कस करेंगे। चलते हैं चैट जीपीटी की तरफ और जो हमारा आज का टॉपिक है उससे आगाज़ करते हैं। सो हेलो चैट जीपीटी, हाउ आर यू?
Hey, how's it going?
ChatGPT, today this my topic, inflation. Uh, Before discuss what is inflation and this topic related inflation in Pakistan.
Hmm, sure. So before we get into Pakistan's situation, here's a simple way to introduce the topic. Inflation means the general prices of goods and services rising over time. So money loses some of its purchasing power. In Pakistan, inflation has been a big challenge affecting daily life. Prices of food, fuel, electricity, and utilities can go up, making household budgets really tight.
Okay, ChatGPT. What are the main causes of inflation and which one of the greatest impact on Pakistan?
Let me check that. Okay, the main causes usually include demand pulling inflation, cost push inflation, too much money in circulation, supply disruptions, and import the hardest higher energy prices and depreciation of the Pakistani rupee, which makes imported goods more expensive.
How does and the imbalance and between supply and demands contribute to inflation?
When demand grows faster than supply, sellers raise prices because too much money is chasing too few goods. The opposite, when supply drops, like from crop failures or import issues, can also push prices up because things become scarce.
Okay. How does the depression, why does heavy reliance on impact and increase inflation? And what happiness and the economy and government prints excessive amount of the money?
Let me check that. Sure, those are two related but separate questions. Heavy reliance on imports means that when global prices rise or the local currency weakens, domestic prices jump. And when the government prints too much money without more goods, more money is chasing the same amount of products. That pushes inflation higher. And when that's happening, it affects people's happiness because as prices rise, real incomes don't keep up. Families feel financial stress, and that stress shows up in well being statistics.
Okay. So, what happens in the economy of the government experience amount of the money, and you discuss in this question topic related mindset. So, how the high interest help control inflation?
Let me check. A high interest rate is one of the main tools to control inflation. When the government creates too much money, inflation rises. But higher interest rates make borrowing more expensive, so people and businesses tend to spend less. That slows down demand, which helps bring prices under control.
Okay. So, what is the difference between and demand pull inflation and cost push inflation?
Checking. Okay. Demand pull inflation happens when demand is more than supply. Like everyone wants the same product and there's not enough to go around. So prices rise. Cost push inflation happens when production costs go up. So things like fuel, electricity, or raw materials get more expensive. So businesses raise prices to cover those costs.
Okay, so how does rising global oil prices affect nutrition and Pakistan today's nutrition?
Let me check. Rising global oil prices strongly affect inflation in Pakistan because Pakistan imports much of its oil. When oil gets more expensive, petrol and diesel prices rise. Then transportation and production costs increase, which pushes up the prices of everyday goods, and that adds to overall inflation.
So my how to control inflation and Pakistan uh, and difference for and government.
Checking the difference. In Pakistan, both the government and the state bank play roles. The government can reduce unnecessary spending, improve supply of essentials, and fix supply chain issues. The state bank manages interest rates and controls money supply. So the difference is the government focuses on fiscal policy, while the state bank focuses on monetary policy.
My next question, how can artificial intelligence and digital technology and algorithms
Checking that AI and digital tech can't eliminate inflation directly, but they can indirectly help. For example, AI can boost productivity, improve agriculture, optimize supply chains, reduce waste, and help government decision making. Over time, those efficiencies can ease some price pressures, especially by making markets more efficient and helping keep prices more stable.
Okay, so my next question. How can artificial intelligence reduce inflation and what potential advantages and disadvantages taken than the government price control essential goods?
Checking. So, AI can help reduce inflation by improving productivity, optimizing supply chains, boosting farm yields, and helping governments make better decisions. Price controls on essential goods can help keep basics affordable for a while, but if they're set too low or kept too long, they can cause shortages or black markets.
Okay. So if you were Pakistan finance minister, what would the type five profit priorities and reduce inflation and what?
Let me check. If I were Pakistan's finance minister, my five priorities would be one, control inflation with sound policies, two, boost local production to reduce imports, three, improve the energy sector, lower energy costs, four, strengthen tax collection and cut unnecessary government spending. And five, protect low income families with targeted support and stable supplies of essentials.
Okay. So my next question suggests the vertical and sustainable categories in Pakistan could implement and the reduce inflation.
Checking. So I think you're asking about sustainable solutions that, yeah. So things like investing in agriculture for more food at lower cost, supporting small and medium businesses, investing in renewable energy like solar and wind, promoting digital technology and AI, improving vocational training, and boosting exports and local manufacturing. Those can help control inflation, create employment, and support long term growth.
Okay, so what is the potential advantages and disadvantages? Secret government price and essential goods, and what are the long-term effect inflation country economy growth?
Checking. Sure. Price controls can keep essentials affordable for low income families in the short term, but they can also lead to shortages, less production, and black markets. And in the long term, high inflation reduces purchasing power, discourages investment, and slows economic growth, which can increase poverty over time.
ChatGPT, uh, how many some other countries in this problem and other countries how control?
Checking. Yes, many countries faced high inflation and brought it down through higher interest rates, responsible spending, and stable economic policies. For example, the United States raised interest rates. Turkey tightened monetary policy after very high inflation. Brazil raised interest rates and kept strict policies. Indonesia used targeted support for essentials while managing interest rates. I think fiscal and monetary policies responsible and aiming for stable long-term price stability.
Okay, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, what is the major causes in this situation? So, why in Pakistan?
Checking. Okay. The major causes of inflation in Pakistan include high fuel and energy prices, depreciation of the rupee, heavy reliance on imports, supply shortages, and rising production costs. And inflation happens when demand grows faster than supply or when the cost of producing goods goes up. So businesses raise prices.
Okay, ChatGPT, thank you and this topic related discussion. and give me more information.
Checking. You're welcome. Here's a bit more for your discussion or interview. Inflation means a continuous rise in general prices, which reduces purchasing power. The
Perfect,
main
thank you.
causes in Pakistan include energy prices. No problem. And don't forget that stable